Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. I'm Kiran. So in the last few weeks, I got many messages asking me, Kiran, can you share any practical tips on how to develop intuition? And so my intention in this video is to share some of the steps that I took to develop my intuitive skills. Now the first thing we need to understand is that intuition is not a function of the intellect or the thinking mind, but rather it's a function of feelings or the feeling body. So let's separate that out for a moment. Now the way our thinking or reasoning mind works is that, let's say you're working on a problem. Typically you'll go through some logical steps, you'll do a thorough analysis, and then you will come at a conclusion. Now intuition does not communicate this way. Intuition communicates through feelings, through emotions. It's like you almost wake up and you know what to do. You may not know how you know, but you just know. Similarly, you might have a nudge to do something, to go somewhere. Again, that's your intuition talking. Intuition will never say, hey, I did a 9-page analysis and here, this is what I found. Intuition doesn't work that way. So when we talk about awakening intuition, it's likened unto saying awakening the feeling aspect of our physical body. And how do we do that? So my very first suggestion is that you check in for resonance. What I mean by that is anytime something comes in front of you, a person, place, situation, thing, be it anything, check in with yourself. Does this thing feel in resonance or not? If someone asks you to do something, to collaborate on a project, if someone offers you a job, check in with yourself. Does this thing feel in resonance or not? Because I know a lot of times, we say yes out of obligation because we want to impress someone, we don't want to be in someone's bad books, and on and on. And I know I used to do this a lot. And then whenever I would say yes because of any of these reasons, things would never work out for me. And then I would get mad at myself. And that's when I started tapping into resonance. Because when you are checking for resonance, when you are checking if something feels aligned or not, you are in a way not judging something. You're not saying it's good, bad, higher, lower. You are simply asking for alignment. And that function is not a function of your thinking mind or your logical mind, but it's rather a function of your heart, your intuition. Now, the thing about resonance is that it changes. It doesn't remain static. For example, you might come across some piece of information today and it might not feel in resonance. And yet, 3 weeks later, you can't get enough of it. When that happens, acknowledge that. Pay attention there. So a few years ago, I came across a couple of videos on fasting. At that time, they felt a bit extreme and they didn't resonate with me. And yet I watched the same videos past few months and they made complete sense and I couldn't get enough of them. Now looking back, I am so grateful that these videos didn't resonate with me back then, because at that time I was struggling with high levels of stress. And had I added fasting to that mix, it would have been a complete disaster. And so in a way, checking for resonance and really listening to my intuition saved me. And what you will realize is that as you practice checking for resonance, you will feel more in aligned with your inner self, your heart, and also your intuition. Now, as you know, intuition is not a physical thing. You can't touch it like your phone, your laptop, or your television. And yet, just because we can't see it doesn't mean it doesn't exist. Lest you wouldn't be watching this video, right? So how do we give form to something so intangible? Now, sometimes having a visual of what you're endeavoring to develop, endeavoring to hone can be helpful. Like when I was developing my intuitive skills, often I would refer to an image that would remind me of what an intuition would feel like. For me, this image always did the trick, wherein I'm thinking of my higher self calling me on phone and giving me guidance and telling me what to do. Now for you, the image of intuition may look entirely different because again, our brains are wired differently. So my best suggestion is look up images online and see what resonates for you so that intuition doesn't feel like an abstract concept. Now, another practical tip for honing intuition is that you set intentions. What I mean by that is when you wake up in the morning, say out loud, "It is my intention to develop my intuitive skills." I know it sounds ridiculously simple, but trust me, if you do this 30 days in a row, you will be surprised at how things unfold in your life. Now, another practical tip for honing intuition, which I wish someone had told me years ago, is to find a creative outlet. So, as an example, say you're editing your selfies on your phone, and if I were to ask you, "Hey, why are you choosing one filter over another?" Chances are you might say, "I don't know, it just feels right." Pay attention to when you say those words, because that is your intuition talking. So find activities like painting, photography, music, where you get to tap into that aspect of yourself, where you get to ask, does this feel right or not? Now, if you want to develop your intuition at a super quick speed, then meditation is one of the best tools, because when you meditate, you clear your mind. And when your mind is clear, you can really hear that intuitive voice, that inner guidance. It's almost like you can't miss what your heart, what your intuition is telling you. Now, another important but often overlooked aspect of developing intuition is that you commit to healing your heart. What I mean by that is acknowledging the pain, the sadness in your heart. You don't have to linger there, but just learn to be with your heart. Because when our heart is closed, we don't have access to a full range of emotions. And that can make you miss out on those intuitive impulses, because again, intuition is not a function of the brain, it's a function of your heart. And if your heart is blocked or constricted or constrained, so will your intuition. And now over to you. What practices have helped you develop your intuitive skills? Let me know in the comments below. I would love to hear from you. I hope the suggestions in this video were helpful. As always, please only take what resonates, discard the rest. Thank you so much for your time, and I will see you in the next video.